The story of Venus begins in ancient Greece. The goddess of love and beauty, she was an image of perfection, purity, and idealized femininity. But Venus has never been a static concept. Over centuries, her form has changed, adapted to suit society's evolving views of beauty. The idea of a black Venus emerged when European explorers encountered the African continent. But unlike the divine goddess, Black Venus was often cast in a troubling light, a blend of fascination, desire, and dehumanization. Perhaps the most infamous example of Black Venus is the story of Saartjie Baartman. Born in the late 18th century in South Africa, Baartman was brought to Europe under false promises, exhibited in freak shows as the Hottentot Venus, an object of ridicule and sexual curiosity. As Sarah entered her teenage years, her distinct physical features, which were common among Khoikhoi women, became more prominent. She had a large body and notably pronounced buttocks, features that were unfamiliar to Europeans. A Scottish army doctor named William Dunlop, who visited her lodging, invited her to Britain, promising her financial gain by exhibiting her as a spectacle. Initially, Sarah was reluctant, but Dunlop's promise of financial reward persuaded her to agree. Some sources claim she was taken against her will. In 1810, she was brought to Britain, accompanied by two other indigenous men and Hendrik Caesars, Peter's brother. Sarah did not fully understand what was going to happen to her. Dunlop and Caesars intended to exploit her for financial gain through public displays. Upon arriving in London, they lodged on Duke Street in St. James's, one of the city's wealthiest areas. In Britain, exhibiting people and animals from Africa was popular, as was the sale of slaves. For 5 years, she was paraded across Europe, in London, Paris, where her body was dissected by the public gaze. When she died in 1815, even in death, she was denied dignity. Her body was dissected, and her remains were displayed in museums well into the 20th century. Beyond Baartman's tragic story, the idea of Black Venus has been represented in various forms of art and culture. From colonial-era European art to African sculptures, the black female body has been a subject of fascination, often depicted as both alluring and dangerous. In modern times, Black Venus has evolved into a symbol of empowerment and resistance. Many black women artists, from the Harlem Renaissance to the present day, have reclaimed the image of the black female body, turning it into a powerful statement of identity, beauty, and resilience. The legacy of Black Venus continues to impact modern beauty standards. While Western ideals of beauty have traditionally favored white skin and Eurocentric features, today, elements once exoticized and vilified in black women, such as fuller lips and curvier bodies, are increasingly celebrated, yet often still without proper respect for their origins. There's a fine line between appreciation and appropriation. The commodification of black beauty, whether through fashion, music, or social media, often strips away the cultural significance and historical context that shaped those standards. But more and more, black women are defining beauty on their own terms. They are reclaiming the narrative, reshaping the world's idea of what beauty can be, and breaking free from the centuries-old labels imposed on them. The story of Black Venus is not just one of exploitation, but also one of strength, resistance, and empowerment. While Saartjie Baartman's story is a painful reminder of the objectification of black women, it also serves as a starting point for a deeper conversation about race, gender, and beauty. For centuries, the black female body has been a battlefield, objectified, exploited, and misunderstood. But today, we are reclaiming that body, not as an object for others to gaze upon, but as a symbol of power, history, and beauty. Today, the story of Black Venus is about reclaiming the past, rewriting the future, and celebrating the beauty and diversity of black women everywhere. The story of Black Venus is not one that can be easily told. It is layered with pain, beauty, resistance, and transformation. But one thing is clear: Black Venus, in all her forms, will continue to inspire, challenge, and redefine the world's understanding of beauty. Thank you for watching. Be sure to subscribe for more documentaries that explore untold stories, rich histories, and the beauty of diverse cultures. Until next time, stay curious and stay informed.